My mother died 2 months ago. It wasn't sudden or shocking, or the kind of tragedy people whisper about in disbelief. It was quiet. A long, slow, deliberate fading. Cancer. We had years to prepare for it, but no amount of time makes you ready to watch someone you love dissolve into silence. The last week was spent in a sterile hospice room that smelled like bleach and finality. The walls were a sickly beige, the kind of color that's meant to comfort, but only reminds you that you're somewhere people go to die. I spent those days sitting by her bedside, holding her thin, papery hand, just watching her breathe. Sometimes she would drift in and out of sleep, her breath shallow, her eyes flickering beneath their lids. Other times, she'd stare out the window at nothing, the sky that had stopped meaning anything to her, and smile softly, as if she was seeing something I couldn't. She was peaceful. That was the hardest part to understand. While I was breaking apart inside, a tangled knot of grief and disbelief, she was calm, serene, like she had already crossed over and was only waiting for her body to catch up. On her last day, when her breathing grew shallow and her voice had turned into a fragile whisper, she pulled me close. Her eyes, which had been cloudy and far away for days, suddenly cleared. They were bright, sharp, present. "Don't be sad, my love," she whispered. "I'm not afraid. I've never been afraid. He's always been with me." I thought she was delirious. "Who, Mom?" I asked, my throat tight. She smiled, small, knowing, tired. "My guardian," she said. "My protector. He was a gift from my own mother when she passed. He's kept me safe my whole life. He's never let any real harm come to me." Her eyes shifted, just over my shoulder. I swear her expression changed from peace to reverence, like she was looking at someone standing right behind me. I felt cold all over, but I told myself it was just grief or exhaustion or more fine dreams. "When I go," she continued, her gaze drifting back to mine with sudden intensity, "he will pass to you. He has to. He needs someone to watch over. You will be safe now. Always." "Mum, don't talk like that," I choked out. But she didn't stop. "You won't believe me at first," she said, her voice gaining strength. "But you'll know. There'll be 10 marks, 10 signs, after I'm gone. When you've seen the 10th, you'll know he's with you. And then, you will see him." Her voice changed then, rhythmic, almost musical, as she began to chant the marks. A coin returned, a silent bell, a path cleared, a saved fall, a warning unheard, a fear answered, a scent of the old earth, a touch of cold fur, a voice not your own, and finally, a gaze returned. When she finished, she exhaled, a long, soft sigh that felt like release. Her eyes fluttered closed, and a few hours later, she was gone. The funeral was a blur, flowers, faces, condolences that felt rehearsed. And afterward, the silence. The kind of silence that sits in your chest and presses down on you. I forgot her words. They were the morphine talking, I told myself, a final attempt to make death poetic. Then the first mark appeared. It was about a week later. I was leaving the grocery store, juggling my bags, and as I unlocked my car, a quarter slipped from my fingers. I watched it roll across the wet pavement and vanish under the next car. I sighed. Whatever, just a coin. But when I got home and emptied my pockets, there it was, sitting right in the middle of my dresser, a single, dry, gleaming quarter. My heart stuttered. It was impossible. My pockets had been empty. But grief makes your brain fuzzy. I told myself I'd picked it up without noticing. I forced a laugh, dropped it into a jar, and went on with my night. Still, the thought lingered. A coin returned. The second mark came the following week. I was walking home, cutting through the street that passes the old stone church. It's been abandoned for years, boarded up, ivy choking the walls, its bell tower long silent. But that afternoon, as I passed by, I heard it. A single, clear, resonant bong, the unmistakable toll of a great bell. The sound echoed down the empty street. I froze, looking up at the tower. The bell was still. The rope hung motionless. No one else seemed to notice. Cars passed. A man walked his dog. The world went on. But I heard it. I know I did. A silent bell. The third mark came a few days later at work. I was heading to the break room when I saw it. A huge maintenance cart blocking the hallway, piled high with tools and metal parts. I sighed, turned to take the long way around, then realized I'd forgotten my wallet. I turned back. The cart was gone. The hall was empty. It hadn't been 30 seconds. A path cleared. That's when I started to remember my mother's voice. The chant. The way she'd said, "You'll know." I told myself I was imagining things, but I couldn't shake it. I started feeling watch. Not just occasionally, but constantly. It was like the air itself was aware of me. When I'd shower, I'd feel eyes on my back. When I'd eat, I'd hear the faint creak of a floorboard behind me. When I tried to sleep, I'd wake up gasping, certain someone had just whispered my name. And then came the fourth mark. It was late afternoon. I was taking the stairs down to the lobby of my apartment building. I was distracted, lost in thought, and I missed a step. My foot slipped. I pitched forward. I remember the moment of weightlessness, the sick, helpless realization that I was about to hit the ground headfirst. But I didn't. Something stopped me. Something caught me, a force firm and invisible, pressing against my chest. For one impossible second, I hung there, suspended, before being gently set down on my feet. I just stood there, trembling. No one was in the stairwell. No one had touched me. A saved fall. By now, I couldn't dismiss it anymore. Something was following me, not maliciously, not yet, but intentionally. It wasn't random. It was deliberate. The fifth and sixth marks came close together. I was at the mall, about to get on an elevator. I had one foot inside when a sudden, gut-deep terror stopped me cold. It was like every cell in my body screamed nitrogen monoxide. I froze, backed away. A few seconds later, the elevator doors closed. I watched the numbers light up -2, 3, then stop. The lights went out. There was a screech of metal, a distant crash, an alarm. If I had stepped inside, a warning unheard. That same night, I took the shortcut through the park on my way home. It was late, the air damp with fog. That's when I heard the growl. A dog, big, mean, loose, came tearing out of the shadows, barking, teeth bared. I froze. I couldn't even scream. It lunged and then stopped. It whimpered, eyes fixed on something behind me. Its body dropped low, tail between its legs. It let out a terrified yelp and ran, vanishing into the dark. I stood there, shaking. I didn't look behind me. I couldn't. A fear answered. 6 marks, 6 signs. At this point, it wasn't even about belief. It was about survival. I knew something was there. I could feel it. An unseen presence hovering at the edge of perception, always a few feet behind me. Sometimes I'd catch it in reflections. In my dark TV screen, I'd see a shape, tall, stooped with impossibly long arms. In a store window, I'd see it trailing me, just beyond the glass. Always in the shadows, always watching. And then came the 7th mark. It started with a smell. I came home from work one evening, and as soon as I opened the door, I noticed it. A heavy, musky, earthy scent, thick and animalistic. It wasn't rot. It wasn't mold. It was old, ancient. Like wet soil and something alive that shouldn't be. It filled the apartment, then vanished an hour later, leaving only a faint dampness in the air. A scent of the old earth. The 8th came that night. I couldn't sleep. The smell had left me uneasy. I left the light on, lying on my side, staring at the wall, too tired to move but too afraid to close my eyes. And then I felt it. Something brushed against my hand, dangling off the bed. It was soft, coarse, like the fur of an animal, cold and damp. I yanked my hand back, gasping, heart pounding. There was nothing there. No sound, no shadow, but the skin on my fingers still tingled like static. A touch of cold fur. 8 marks. 2 left. By then, I stopped pretending I could reason my way through it. I didn't tell anyone. Who could I tell? I think my mother's ghost left me a guardian. They'd send me for grief counseling. But this wasn't grief. This was real. The 9th mark came last night. I was half asleep when I heard it. A voice, low and wet and too close. It spoke directly into my ear. It wasn't English. It wasn't any language I knew. But I understood it. It meant one word. Mine. A voice not your own. I spent the rest of the night sitting in the corner of my living room, the lights on, clutching a baseball bat I found in the closet. Every shadow felt alive. Every flicker of light made me flinch. But the hours passed, and nothing came. Only silence. Heavy, waiting silence. Until tonight. I knew it would happen tonight. The 10th mark. I felt it the moment I woke up. All day, there's been this pressure in the air. Like before a storm. Like something holding its breath. Now it's midnight. I'm sitting on my couch, every light in my apartment blazing. The TV off. The air feels wrong. Heavy. It hums, faintly, like static. And the smell is back, stronger than ever. That musky, earthy animal smell. I can feel it in the hallway. Waiting, and for the first time, I'm done being afraid. I stand up. My voice shakes, but I force the words out anyway. Okay, I say to the empty air. I know you're here. Show yourself. The air shimmers. The shadows ripple. And then it steps forward. At first, it's just a shape. Tall, stooped. The outline of a man. But then the light hits it, and I see what it really is. It's huge. 7 feet, maybe more. Its arms are long and thin, ending in fingers that nearly brush the floor. Its entire body is covered in thick, matted, oily black fur. And its face, oh God, its face. It's not human. It's the long, narrow face of a goat. 2 massive, spiraling horns curl from its skull. Its beard hangs low, dripping with something dark. But its eyes, those eyes, are the worst. Yellow, intelligent, horizontal pupils like a serpent's. And they are looking directly at me. A gaze returned. The 10th mark. The final sign. My mother's guardian angel. I can't move. I can't scream. We just stare at each other across the room. 20 feet of air thick with terror and something else. Recognition. Because in those eyes, I see the same peace my mother had when she died. She wasn't afraid. She wasn't delusional. She knew. This is what she saw every night when she said her prayers. This is what she felt watching over her all her life. And now it's mine. I'm writing this now, as the sun rises. The light is pale, creeping across the floor, but it doesn't help. Because it's still here. It's standing in the corner of my room, by the door. Its black fur seems to swallow the daylight. It hasn't moved. It just watches. My mother's final words echo in my head. I've never been afraid. He's always been with me. Now I understand. She wasn't being brave. She was being honest. Because how do you fear something that never leaves you? How do you escape a guardian angel? How do you run from a protector who will never ever let harm come to you, but whose very presence is a fate worse than death?